A local newsletter is a fantastic side hustle, especially if you want to do it in your evenings and weekends for just a couple of hours. But one of the biggest points of resistance is people are worried that their town, city area is too small. So we built this tool here for you to figure out if this is actually worth your time, whether you should start a local newsletter. So all you have to do is fill out a couple of boxes, move a couple of sliders, and you'll be able to figure out exactly how much money you are going to make. Now, if you're worried about the amount of time that you're going to have to invest and all that kind of stuff, then don't worry, I've got you. We have calculators to help with that as well. If you want access to all of our calculators to figure out if this is the right business for you, then just put calculators down in the comments and I can send everything to you. But let me just show you exactly how this works. So total local population is a really important part of deciding if you're going to start a local newsletter. It's not the only part of it, but you need to make sure that you are getting in front of enough people to make it worthwhile. Advertisers and sponsors that you're going to work with will want to be getting in front of enough people in order to pay you. And if you have your own offer, so maybe you're a HVAC plumber, maybe you run a med spa, restaurant, any kind of business in your local area, and you want to start a local newsletter because it's going to get you cheaper subscribers and cheaper advertising, then again, you want to make sure that you're getting in front of enough people. So the first thing you do is go away, look at the total population in your area. So if you're looking at a city, you'll have like the metro area and the outskirts as well. So just considering exactly where you're targeting. If you're like me, where you live quite rural, then what tends to happen over here is that 2 or 3 towns sort of get clumped together in a region. So you can bear that in mind as well. But you just need to come up with a number. So here I've got 40,000. That's quite small. 100,000, 150,000 is absolutely fine for a local newsletter, especially if we're going sort of general when it comes to the content that we're writing about. And I'll give you some help with content in a second. So we're going to go with 40,000. Then we're going to take a look at target market penetration. So all this is working out is over sort of like a year, so 12-month period, how much of that population are you going to get onto your email list? That's it. Now you can see here that we have got a bit of guidance on this slider. So we can slide from here all the way up to 20%. And the nice thing about this is that you can vary this and it's going to change the numbers down the bottom here for us as well. So if our target penetration, and we're just starting out, you probably want to go for something around about 2%. If you're feeling a little bit more confident, so maybe you already have, quite a few contacts that you could take advantage of in order to grow your local newsletter. Maybe you are a business and you've already got, let's say, an email list. Maybe you've got some marketing lists, something like that you could get in front of. Or you're just going to put a lot more time into it than, 2 hours a week. Then you might want to go for something a little bit more aggressive. So average would be 4%. And then, the aggressive would be up to 11, 12%. I would say around 10% is realistic if you're going to be aggressive, but I did create this so that you could go even higher if you really wanted to. I mean, if you get a big sponsor on board initially and they're willing to pay for a huge chunk of your meta ads, then you're going to be able to capture more of the area at a faster rate. So I would say, start off with some sensible numbers. Let's go for 4%. Then what we need is the average revenue per subscriber. Now, again, this is annual, so this is over the 12 months. So over 12 months of that 40,000, I'm going to get 4% of the population. So I'm aiming to get 1,600 people on my list. If I can do that, then, and I know how much my subscribers are going to be worth to me, then I can figure out exactly how much money I would be projected to make. By the way, you've also got to think about the amount of time you're putting in and how much your time is worth. We do have another calculator which will help you work that out as well. So you can figure out, right, how much time am I spending on this? How much is my time worth? How much am I making? And put the two together. If you want that calculator, just put evenings down in the comments and I'll send that over to you. But again, industry numbers, and depends on how good you are at this, range between $6 for the value of a subscriber over a year, all the way up to $30. You're not going to make that from day one. That's something that you can aim for or target towards in the future. Again, I did move this all the way up to $50 just in case you wanted to play around with numbers. But again, let's go. Let them be conservative and we'll do $3, which is below industry averages. So now we can see our monthly revenue. Now, obviously, this is not going to be our revenue from day one because it's going to take some time to get these subscribers on board. But our target growth for our first year is now 1,600 subscribers, which means based on the average revenue per subscriber, then we're going to looking at $400 reoccurring per month, an estimated annual revenue of $4,800. Like I said, month one, you're not going to be making these numbers, but it just gives you an idea of where you are going to be heading, where things are going to be moving as you grow your local newsletter. If you have something like a self-liquidating offer, which I talked about in a previous video in depth, when I also went through the calculator where we work out your hourly rate. If you'd like that video, just put SLO in the comments and I can send you a link so you can watch that video. But if you had a self-liquidating offer, then this revenue would be even more, because what you'd be able to do is you would be able to increase the value of your subscriber, because you wouldn't be doing things like spending on ads. You'd be making that money back on the ads from day one, so you wouldn't have that cost, and therefore you'd technically be making more per subscriber. So hopefully this will help you figure out, based on the size of your town, how aggressively you're going to start with your business and how much you think you can make from each of your subscribers over the year, help you figure out how much money you are going to make. So even if we drop this down to just $1.50 and we're going very, very conservative with 2% market penetration, we're just getting 2% of the market onto our list, 800 subscribers over 12 months, we're still making $1,200, and we're only working an hour or two a week on this project. If you would like to have access to this calculator because you want to run your own numbers, just put the word town into the comments below and I can send you the link to this calculator. If you've got any questions, just put them down in the comments. I'll see you in the next one.